You're about to enter the world of strawberry ice and the ice cave. Let's go! Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of Jackpot Joey Burrow, Houday Nation, and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, do me a favor. If you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. I'm up to 1,126 subscribers. That is awesome. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Now, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right, guys. As you know, I like having guests on, and I try to give you guys a variety of people. And me and this dude right here have been trying to hook up for about 6 months, and he's a very busy man, but he's a huge Bengals fan. And you can follow him on Twitter. And actually, you know what? I'll just bring him on. Let's get to it here. Here's Sam.
Yo, am I on? Let's go. Iceman, what's cooking? Good looking.
What's up, brother? Now, see, I just call you Sam because my last name's Trunapole, and I don't even want to try to screw your last name up, so I'll let you pronounce it.
It gets so many people all over the place. The last name is Connaughton. Connaughton, baby, all day long.
There you go, Connaughton. See, I knew.
Yes,
when
sir.
You do your videos, I heard it, so I knew it. I just I'm going to screw it up, so I'm not even going to try to say it. So,
right,
so
it's all
what's
good,
going on, man? Looks
Holy
like
moly, what a day of work.
Area.
What a day of work. Working hard, sweating. It was crazy out there today at Enterprise Rent-A-Car, but we made it work. We got it going, and we're ready to have a weekend.
There you go, buddy. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Now, so how excited are you about the Bengals and what's happening? I mean, dude, right now it's nothing but good vibes, as Giovanni or Gino Suarez would always say, quoting the Reds. But it's good vibes. I mean, we got everybody signed. Everybody showed up to OTAs. Jackpot Joey Burrow is throwing 50-yard bombs into an ice cooler. Jamar Chase is there. They're already getting on the same page. I mean, how are you feeling? I'm excited. How are you feeling about this?
I mean, I could run through a brick wall. I mean, how can you not be? As a Cincinnati Bengals fan, you have to be absolutely stoked. You have to be fired up to be alive. Because guess what? Like, the time is now.
Yes, sir.
Things have to start going our way. You got to keep pushing. Yeah, and, when you look at how good Joe Burrow looks, oh, my sweet Jesus, it's beautiful. It brings a tear to my eye, Jeff, every single time I see him.
Dude, when I saw him just doing the knee bends, with the team, just bounce up and down, I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, yes. I'm like, dude, everybody was calling, like, Jeremy is usually my co-host on here. And he was like, well, he might not be back till, October. I was like, no, dude. I said, I think he's going to be back game 1. He's back and it's OTAs. It's freaking June. And he's throwing passes. I couldn't be more ecstatic about it.
I mean, you call him Jackpot Joe Burrow. I call him the Wonder Child, man. That man pulls off miracles every single day. What he is doing right now is unheard of. Like, people talk about Adrian Peterson doing all this, but for Joe Burrow to be out there looking as good as he is, and it's only June, the start of June, after one of the craziest hits. I still have never seen it, but from what I've told, it was one of the craziest hits of all time. I'm like, man, guy really is a miracle worker.
Dude, it was horrible. I mean, I remember, I'll never forget the hit. I mean, it's just like I'll never forget the Carson Palmer hit, but because the whole time everybody's like, oh, he's going to get hurt. Oh, he's going to get hurt. I was like, that's a once in a lifetime thing. I might, and then he got hit from the top, hit from the bottom, and I'm sitting there in my chair over there. I'm down here in the ice skate. My chair's over there. My TV's over there. I'm going, no! Like, get up! I was like, oh my God! But all of that emotion right there from watching him get hurt is completely flipped around right now to watch him just in practice. Just watching him walk and jog and play football is awesome. Uh-oh. Are you frozen?
Watch him walk across the street.
Wherever you're Sam, wherever you're at, you're frozen, dude. Can you hear me? Because
am I frozen?
Yeah, a little bit.
Frozen?
Well, you're choppy. Real choppy. How about this? How about try to jump back in again? Try to get let's see if we get a better connection. Freaking internet. But I mean, let's get into the Ja'Marr Chase and Joe Burrow thing. I mean, they're already on the same page. I mean, they're saying we can look at each other and we already know what the other one's thinking. I mean, this is good stuff. I mean, this stuff that Zach Taylor is saying about just Ja'Marr Chase. He's been very impressive. He picked it up really quickly. I know there is probably some new terms or crossovers from old terms he had. And like young receivers, it takes some getting adjusted to. But he lined up quickly. He knows what to do. He has great hands. He has everything you could hope for. I mean, that's Ja'Marr Chase. That's Zach Taylor talking about Ja'Marr Chase. There he is. Are we back, Sam?
I'm back. I'm so back. We are so back, Jeff.
That's good. I was just quoting the comment here from Zach Taylor talking about how good Ja'Marr Chase is and how him and Joe Burrow already got a connection, and Ja'Marr already knows where to line up. He's not behind at all. Right. I mean, these are, like I said, it's all nothing but good stuff here.
I mean, how can you not be excited about having arguably the best quarterback wide receiver duo in the history of college football? I mean,
exactly.
I think it's to be made there. I think legit argument to be made there, and they're teaming up back in Cincinnati. And the best part is he's got Tyler Boyd on one side and T. Higgins on the other. It's crazy.
Right. Well, that's the funny thing. I'm like, that's where I kept saying, I'm like, dude, the Bengals have got probably the best trio in the AFC North, at least AFC North. And that's why the Clowns and the Ratbirds are trying to get more quarterbacks, because they're not going to be able to cover us. And then look, you got CJ Uzama, who's nice and healthy. You got Thaddeus Moss. Our tight ends, everybody's sleeping on them. Our tight ends aren't going to be any joke either. So we got weapons and weapons and weapons.
Right. And, you just have to go. I honestly think Joe Burrow, he's going to be a monster, an animal. You got to have Joe Mixon healthy. I think he is the key component.
Yes.
could really, really stir the drink for that offense. I mean, if he can rush like he did under Frank Pollock the first time around, that offense goes from really good to absolutely scary. And it'll make defensive coordinators stay up all night thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because Tyler Boyd, who it wasn't that long ago, those last couple of years, he's been our number one wide receiver.
Right.
But he's officially a slot guy. I don't really know if there's actually going to be a one on this team, to be honest, the way Burrow throws the ball around, to be honest. But I mean, Chase and Higgins could both play the X. So they're going to be interchangeable. Tyler Boyd's coming across the middle. And I've said this on multiple shows here that I think Higgins, Boyd, Chase, Omai have a chance to be better than Chad, TJ, and Chris Henry.
I mean, that's what you want, right?
Right.
That's the premium talent. You draft a guy in the top 5, you have 2 second-round picks, and you're like, okay, now it's time to go. These are bona fide players. They make plays, and now they have to do it. Straight up.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, is where people are like, oh, we might be, like next year might be our run. I'm like, no. Now. Our run is now. Starts now. I don't want to hear about next year. I'm like, everybody's healthy. This is the most talented team that Zach Taylor has had the entire time he's been here. You've got Joe Burrow. I mean, I think he's going to be damn near 90 to 95%, healthy by the time the season. He's already 80, 85%, and we got 3 months ago. This is the time now. We got everybody locked up for the next 3 years. Go for it now. I don't want to say, oh, we can get it. No, now's the time for the Bengals to try to make that Super Bowl run for multiple years.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Jeff. I was actually thinking about that today. I'm like, there should be nothing less than playoff contention. You have to compete in playoffs. If you're anything less than that this year, we actually have a serious problem. You have to, because Joe Burrow and the rookie contract, it's only going to be for a couple more years, man. This is where you boost the team around them. This is where you can really, really go for it. And it starts this year. After the injury, it was tough. I thought maybe they would make a little move towards the playoff potentially, but this has to be it. This has to be their coming out.
Yeah, exactly. And the other cool thing is Burrow. This is the dedication of Burrow. And I had Ace on my show, yesterday. Not only did Burrow rehab his knee, he strengthened his arm as well. Right. So, I mean, not only is he coming back quicker than most people do from a reconstructive knee surgery, his arm's better. I mean, that's ridiculous.
I mean, and I forget who was talking about it. I think it was like Paul Dehner Jr. or Jay Morrison. Like, that's what he needed to do. He complained or he talked about how bad he was in the downfield passing game all last year.
Yeah.
And he goes out and he goes, okay, what is it going to be for me to take that next step forward? Well, I'm going to work on my body. I have to do this rehab, so I'm going to be in the weight room. I'm going to be doing all the little things I can be to be a better downfield passer this year. And from what we've been seeing, I mean, he looks like he does have a little bit more zip on the ball.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's not really, if you look at the throws, he's not really stepping and driving. I don't think he can totally do that with his knee yet, but he even talked about it's his hips. He tightened up the muscles around his hips, so his twitch action is a little more tighter. And like I said, once he gets his full body back to health, he's been slinging it all over the place.
Yeah, I'm fired up. And if you're listening and if you're a gambling person, take Joe Burrow, comeback player of the year.
Hell yeah.
Games, I honestly don't see how it misses. Like, I don't.
Well, I think
showing us bye, slam it.
Exactly. I think honestly it would come down between him and Dak Prescott. I think those are the two, because they're both quarterbacks. They're both coming back from season-ending injuries. I think those are your two running horses right there.
I agree. And we'll see about the Cowboys, but I do believe in Joe Burrow, and I believe in the weapons he has around him. It's going to be, hey, can we get a really good scheme for these guys? Can we make plays down the field? Can Zach Taylor put the boys in a position to succeed? And that's what's going to be the telltale sign, man. That is going to be what a big question is for this team.
Exactly. Now, this is how optimistic I am, and I put this out when they had the schedule out, and some people ripped me for it, but dude, I mean, honestly, I think we have a shot at this. I said 11-6. Now, if you look at it, the beginning part of the schedule, those are all winnable games. There's a very, very good chance we could be 4-0 going in the Green Bay.
I agree.
mean, and that's not just me being a crazy Bengal fan with my orange sunglasses on. Those are legit things that we could actually do. And say you go there and just say you lose to Green Bay, which actually the Bengals have done very well against Aaron Rodgers, if he's still there in Green Bay. Then you got Detroit. So at worst, you could be 5-1, 6-0, going into the first Ratbirds game.
Right.
I mean, that's a pretty good start. Now, the problem is the end of the season. That's where I think that's the gauntlet, because you got the Chargers, Sucky Niners, Broncos, Ratbirds, Chiefs, and Clowns. So that's the gauntlet. So that's why they need to get off to a good start and get the wins out of the way, because the end of it is going to be hard. But I mean, they're winnable games. We have the talent to do it.
Right. I definitely think those first 4 games are going to give us a real key, because talent-wise, I don't think there's a huge difference between us, the Vikings, and the Bears. I don't think there's a huge talent.
Well, so, there is. There's one thing. We got a better quarterback in all those teams. We got the better, and that's the reason I'm 11-6, because 90% of those games we have the better quarterback. Sorry, right. Not to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No big deal, but I think those 2 games are going to be big for us. I know for a fact I'll be at the Minnesota game, and I'm going to Chicago. But those 3 games, and then you got the Steelers, who that is have to go. Have to. Yeah. You have to. And then you got the Jaguars. Urban Meyer, Thursday Night Football, Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
That'll be an unbelievable game. But if they go 3-1, 4-0, you're feeling great.
Oh, yeah.
2-2, 1 year. Heaven forbid 0-4. Yeah. You're pounding the panic button.
Yes.
Pounding the panic.
Yes. If we're 0-4, we're in trouble. We're at 0-4. Zach is in serious trouble of his job. But anyway, I got a super chat here. I got to get to here, and it's from Rowdy Every Lap. Thanks for the $2 super chat here, and he says, market T. Higgins will get 3,000 yards and 10 TDs, or excuse me, 1,300 yards and 10 TDs. I get it right. I'm down for that.
I mean, I wouldn't complain. Sign me up. Sign me up. I'll take it.
Dude, we have a chance. I mean, honestly, I think we have a chance to have 2 of these guys each have 1,000 yards and 100 catches. I mean, it's happened before in Bengals history. I don't see it not happening unless they really run the ball out, which I'm okay with. If they run the ball too, that's cool with me. Right.
I mean, Joe Burrow. If Joe Burrow doesn't go down, Tyler Boyd's an 1,000-yard wide receiver.
Oh, so 6
1,000-yard wide receiver last year. So I could see it happening. There's a lot of mouths to feed, and I mean, if T. Higgins gets 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns, we're not talking about a top 10 wide receiver. We're talking about a top 5 receiver in the NFL for next year.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is I'm as guilty as anybody, excited as hell about Chase, but T, he ain't no joke. He could have very easily been in the running for Offensive Rookie of the Year last year, or at least for the best wide receiver if Burrow doesn't go down.
Absolutely. T. Higgins really surprised me. I thought he would be a little bit more of a project, but man, when Philadelphia, like, okay, here it comes. And then after that, it was just kind of full steam ahead. Man, balled out.
Exactly. Now, Jennifer, the queen of Houday Nation, here's got a comment, says, year 1 at LSU, he was learning. Year 2 at LSU, he won a championship. Year 1 at the Bengals, he was warming up. Year 2 with the Bengals. Look out! That's Mr. Jackpot freaking Joey Burrow, baby. So John had a question here, and he asked about the odds for Comeback Player of the Year. And I did have that up on my screen. I put it up there last week, but I don't have it with me right now. But the odds for Joe Burrow winning the Comeback Player of the Year were pretty high. I think Dak Prescott was I think he was 1 and Burrow was 2, I think, but I
think it's Dak 1, Saquon 2, and then Joe Burrow, I think. But hey, it doesn't matter what the odds are. You go, you put the money on the odds, you let it play out. It's like an investment. You're investing in Joe Burrow.
Exactly. Then we're going to Club Dub as
so
yeah.
that's back.
Orange Arrow's ready to join you there. So am I, brother.
Oh, the Bengal. Talk about a gambling man.
Yeah, that's the Orange Arrow. He's one of the super fans here in Cincinnati. So you said you're cutting out before. You said you're going to be at the first game of the year. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So I actually bought season tickets for the first.
Oh, did you? What section are you in?
So I'm in. I'm not in 158. I couldn't afford those, but I'm in like. I'm not in like the. I'm in the regular club level, but towards the city, the end zone. I'm in that over there.
Okay. Yeah. I'm in. I call it the fun zone. I just we're see like all the crazy. Not you're a crazy Bengal fan, but a lot of crazy Bengal fans are down in 158 and they're dressing up and all that stuff. So
I tried to get in, but they were like, I needed to buy multiple seats too. So but next year, there's always next year.
There's always next year. Exactly. I mean, come on.
Bengals season ticket holder, put it in stone.
Now the question is, where are you going to be tailgating at? Because I mean, you got Bengal Jim, you got the Bomb Squad, you got everybody over there at whatever the heck that big gravel lot is. I can't think of it right now. But where do you tailgate at?
Do I tailgate? So the really nice thing is, so when I would go down to Bengals games, I would just tailgate at my house. It's in Mount Lookout.
Oh, there you go.
I would just go there, wake up really early, play a little Thunderstruck, play a little Welcome to the Jungle, a little drink a couple great tasting Les Philly Miller Lights, and get ready to rock and roll. And I would just Uber down there. But I mean, with me being a season ticket holder, I'm in for anything. I know I'm going to reach out to my boy Jimmy Foster, Bengals, the man, the myth, the legend. So I'm fired up. I've never really experienced the Bengals tailgate to a full, and I'm really good this year.
Dude, I will put Bengals tailgating, whichever group you go to, if wherever you're doing it at there, I'll put that up against anybody in the NFL. I've had other like the Bills Mafia even came up. They were tailgating with us a couple years ago, and they're like, "This is great." And they're like, "You guys are actually kind of nice, though." Like, Bills Mafia, we're not as nice. I was like, "Yeah, we're nice to you," and then we're gonna kick your ass in the stadium.
Exactly. The Bills Mafia, man, just a bunch of booze bags. Love booze.
Booze bags and jump through tables.
Right. Some crazy folks, no doubt.
Exactly. All right, Orange Arrow says, I got my money on comeback player of the year.
Orange Arrow. Oh, my goodness gracious. Let's go. Oh, I'm fired up. This got me beating heart a little bit more. I'm fired.
I'm just glad you're able to come on the show because I've been trying to get you on for a couple months now.
Jeff, I was cooking people in and out of the office. I was getting cars right and left, trying to get on time. Not speeding, get to go in the speed lane on the way home, but making sure I was here for you, my man. I appreciate that.
You're like, come on, people, I gotta get off. I'm going to be on the air with Sports Strawberry Ice. Come on, the Iceman's waiting on me. Come on, we gotta go.
Counting on me. Get out of
here. Well, I appreciate it, man. I do appreciate it. That's a good thing. But I like I said, the other thing that kind of irritates me, well, I don't say irritates me, but we had the Civil War. We had Jamar Chase versus Penei Sewell. And everybody's ripping us. The national media is ripping us for taking Jamar Chase. But none of them are ripping the Squealers for taking a running back when their offensive line is god-awful and worse than the Bengals was before we fixed it.
Right.
I don't get that crap. I don't understand. Like, they got a great running back. I'm like, hello? If there's no place for him to run, he's going to get tackled.
Right. I honestly, Jeff, I don't see the value in taking a running back. I mean, just in the first round, I didn't like the Jaguars taking ETN. I didn't like, the Steelers taking Najee Harris.
I know. I started laughing. They're like, oh, it's a great take. I'm like, dude, they lost their center. They lost one of their tackles. Their offensive line wasn't that good to begin with. How is this good?
Right. And it's going to be great. Week 3, going into Heinz Field, getting a W and heading to Thursday night. Oh, my goodness gracious.
I mean, club dubbing everywhere, baby.
About it.
Exactly. All right, Jennifer here. Just another thing, guys. You haven't seen Thad Moss. He looks like a whole different guy. A lot of people doubted him. I think he was shining as a Bengal. I'm with Jen on that. I've said that since they signed him. I mean, he had a year off. He got his foot fixed. He said he's even said this on the Bengal Booth podcast with Dan Horde that that's the best he's ever felt, or this is the best he's ever felt. Right. So if he can come anywhere close to what he did at LSU with Joe Burrow, gonna be good.
Yeah, put me on the dotted line. Put it in Sharpie. Thad Moss, he's an interesting guy because I could definitely see him coming in and contribute, but I really think the team likes what they have in CJ. They like what they have in Drew Sample. It'll be interesting. I would like to see him get on the field, no doubt, but there's just a little bit part of me that goes, yeah, there might be too many people in the end there for him to get significant minutes.
Well, I really do think CJ is going to have a breakout year. I thought he was going to have it last year because when the season first started, him and Burrow were there, and then he tore his Achilles, and now he's back to 100%. So I think CJ, Thad's got to beat CJ out. But then Ace said on the show the other day he could see Thad getting some time at H-back, and that could be a possibility.
That could definitely be a possibility. It could. I don't hate that at all. It's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out. It's just once the roster starts getting slimmer and slimmer, things will come more in a picture, and we just got to go from there.
Exactly. All right, Rowdy. I think I'm saying this right. Rowdy every lap says all three wide receivers are going to get 1,000 yards. It's a 17-game season. That's less than 59 yards per game. And that's another thing we kind of forget, too. There is an extra game. So to them to put up some monster numbers, like I say, you got a whole extra game. So this could be, people are saying, Burrow probably could get like 4,000. And people are like, actually, if with the extra game, he could actually throw for 5,000 this year. I mean, there could be some pretty gaudy numbers across the NFL this year with the extra game.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, especially with the weapons that the Cincinnati Bengals have. This offense, not maybe will be, it is going to be explosive this year. Take it to the bank. Throw it in the Brinks truck. That's a lock.
Yeah, Orange Air says, get it now. Joey B plus 3,300 for NFL MVP. I guess is that the odds or what is that?
That is the odds. That is the odds.
There you go. So get in on it now. You can make some money.
Maybe sprinkle a little bit. Sprinkle the money.
just sprinkle it out everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, dude, actually, I'm not a gambling guy, but I didn't do it. I actually drove down to the sports book down there in Lawrenceburg, and I was going to bet $100 on the Bengals to go to the Super Bowl and this is before the draft, before any of the free agent signings, and the odds were really good or really high. If they did, I'd get a lot of money. I went down there, and the stupid book didn't open up till like noon or something, and I'm like, crap. So I feel like sitting around. So I never went down there and did. I probably got to kick myself for not doing it.
Absolutely heartbreaking.
Right, exactly. But you know what? Hey, if they win the Super Bowl, I don't care. I'll be happy either way.
Right.
All right, John. Thad and Joey B are really close. I think they will get the best out of Thad, which, Joe Burrow and Thad Moss, I think, are damn near best friends.
Joe Burrow is going to get the best out of a lot of people, man. He really
is true.
He is he's the wonder child. He's a leader. He's exactly what you want in a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, I was just thinking about this to myself today. He's actually, because if you look at when the Patriots started their run, before Belichick and Brady, the Patriots were looked down upon like the Bengals are at times. They never won anything. They went to 2 Super Bowls and lost them both, just like we have.
Right.
Once Brady and Belichick got there, it all changed. So I'm kind of hoping with the mindset that Burrow has, his energy alone and work ethic alone can change and I think it has the philosophy and the thought process of an organization. And I think we're seeing that come to fruition the last 2 years with the adding of Joe Burrow.
He's a winner, Jeff. He is a winner first, above all else. He will do whatever it takes in order for his team, in order for him to win. That's what we've seen in the offseason. Him putting in extra work to make things happen, to make his body better. Joe Burrow, the sky's the limit with this team with Joe Burrow at quarterback. I honestly believe that. You can say whatever you want about Mike Brown. You can say whatever about the Bo Jackson curse, whatever. But the sky is the limit for this team with number 9 under center. The man just keeps us in ball games, and now we have the talent around him to actually do something. Woo-wee! Woo-wee! It's going to be a fun year, no doubt about it.
It's gonna be a real fun year, and I've said this. If people watch my show, I say a lot of the same stuff. But if you compare, I'm kind of comparing this year to the going into the 05 season,
right?
Because the 04 team, that was Carson Palmer's first year starting. You know, so he got his feet wet, yada, yada, yada. They went 8-8. The second year, I think they went like 13-3 or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but they had a very opportunistic defense as well. But that offense was legit. It was probably the best offense in the NFL. I think there's a lot to compare to the 05 team to the 2021 season, rolling into it.
Right. And I think that is a huge key for this defense is you have to be opportunistic when it comes to turnovers and taking the ball over. They didn't really capitalize enough on that last year. And you could definitely see how, as time went on, things more and more weighed down on them. If that defense can turn the opposing team over, the Bengals offense will just click. They will have less pressure on them to score. Mm-hmm. They will be able to be a little bit more loosey-goosey out there, ready to play. I just think the defense could definitely help the offense. The offense is definitely going to help the defense. But it's on Lou Anarumo to go out there, put the guys in the right positions to make plays and be opportunistic.
Exactly. And that's my concern this year is I call him Armadillo, and I'm not going to call him his real name until he starts winning. But I am starting to at least understand what he's trying to do because I've done a little more research the last couple of years. I don't think it looks like he knows what he's doing in some of the stuff, but from what I've read, that he's trying to do a morphing defense like the Patriots, where whatever that team does well from each given week, they're trying to take that away from them. Mm-hmm. And the thing is now, he actually, I think, has the players that can do that. Like, he's trying to drop Carlos Dunlap and Carl Lawson in the coverage. That's not what they do good. But Drew Sample and Joseph Osai, those guys can probably do that. So I think it's a little more the talent is more to lose guys. So hopefully that he can actually do what he's been trying to do the last couple of years.
Yeah, well, you can definitely look at his last 2 drafts. I mean, they go heavy on linebacker in 2019 or
Are you there?
2020, and then they go heavy on blank. Oh no.
I'm losing you again.
Building spots where he is young versus. Am I back? Nope. No. Am I back? Out of the basement. But he built his last 2 drafts. So the Bengals built drafts where they got young and versatile in both the second level linebacker and defensive line. That's what you want to see, because when you're morphing, you have to have guys that strictly do one thing. They can't just do one thing really well. Very versatile. You see that kind of with Joseph Asai. You love his motor. You love him coming off the edge. But he also played off-ball linebacker his junior year.
Right.
You look at Cam Sample. He's just a motor guy. He can work inside and outside.
Right.
Another really like. And then you talk about Hakeem Davis-Gaither, who can do it all at the linebacker position. If he stays healthy, I think he could have a big sophomore year. And then you're talking about the leader of the defense, Logan Wilson, who I think could be one of the premier linebackers in the AFC if he stays healthy and keeps developing.
Yeah, that's I can't disagree with any of that stuff. I mean, I really do think Hakeem Davis-Gaither and Logan Wilson are going to have very good years this year. And like we both said the same thing. They got to have guys that can do multiple things. And it's finally to a point where they have the talent to be able to do what Lou is trying to get them to do. Also, we got in Hilton, we got one of the best blitzing cornerbacks in the league, which we've never had that before. Plus, we got Trey Waynes, who's actually going to hopefully play this year. That will help. So, I mean, our secondary is completely revamped from last year, and we completely revamped it last year, and we did it again. So there's a lot of new guys out there, and there's – put it this way. There's no – I'm just putting it this way. There's no excuses to not be in a playoff contention this year. There's no excuses. The talent is there. It's on to the coaches and the players.
I completely agree with you, Jeff, 100%. I think they pushed a lot of chips into the defense and free agency, and it has to come out and work. It just has to. There's going to be a lot of people that have lost their job in Cincinnati.
Yeah, and I mean the big thing is I'm not really, I'm not trying to not consider the Squirrels. Every time we play the Squirrels, it's a hard game. So no matter if they're down or we're down, it's gonna be a hard game. But the two big ones is the Clowns and the Ratbirds. And what they did last year that beat us was run the ball. Now with the Ratbirds, they got a three-headed running back, plus they got Lamar Jackson. I will take Lamar Jackson staying in the pocket and slinging the ball around to try to beat us than them running the ball on us any day of the week. Same thing goes with the Clowns. I'll take Baker Mayfield, keep him in that pocket, make him beat you. If they can do that, I think the Bengals got a shot at winning them.
Yeah, I do too. I remember being in Cleveland. For the week 2 game on Thursday night, and it was just unbelievable. It was the Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt show, and Baker was just making a living running play action off of us.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, oh my God, there's nothing this team can do to stop him. There's just nothing.
Right.
Your hands are literally tied behind your back. And what the entire approach of that Bengals, what it feels like the past 2 off seasons has been, is finding guys that go out and stop the run. Stop the run. Tyler Shelvin, I think that's what he was brought in to do, to be honest with you, is be
big daddy Bayou.
Take up big chunks of that offensive line and make it hard to run in between the tackles.
Well, that's the thing is you got Tyler Shelvin and we call him Big Daddy Bayou. You got Obanjobi, you got Mike Daniels, you got DJ Reader. We got 4 guys right there. I mean, last year I was excited that we had 3 that we could rotate. We had 4, and you also got Renee Wren in there too as well. So I mean, there's lots of guys that are talented. So if the injury bug hits us like it's hit us the last couple years, hopefully we got guys who can plug and play. We're not pulling guys off the street like we were last year. So that's the thing I'm more excited about, but I'm just as excited about is the depth, because when we went to 5 straight playoffs, we were one of the deepest teams in the league. And we're finally getting back to that, I think. Last couple of years, we haven't been that deep. And injuries happen whether we want them to or not. You got to have players behind them ready to go.
Yeah, and I just think that injury bug, man, it's a killer. It killed everything last year, and it's just almost, as a Bengals fan, you almost come to expect it. And that's where things have to change. You have to had that one season where kind of everything goes your way and you start looking up and you're like, okay, like we can actually do this, because the last couple seasons, the injuries have just killed this team over and over and over again. So it's pretty tough. I have to say.
Yeah. I mean, it's June. So, I mean, it's all roses and everything right now. We'll see what happens when the season actually hits, but it's fun to be able to talk about what the Bengals have done, because it actually seems like the Bengals are trying to win.
Right. Yep. And people love saying, oh, the Bengals, Mike Brown's just trying to make a buck. This team doesn't really care about winning. This team doesn't care about the product. No, I'm more confident ever as I am right now that this team is trying to win, is trying to progress, is trying to take that next step into being a winning franchise. And it's going to start to come together this year. I can really, really feel it. Iceman, I can really feel it.
Me too, brother. Me too. It's going to be fun. And you have to make sure you hit me up when you go down and tailgate, and we'll have a couple beers, and then afterwards we'll hit Club Dub together.
Oh, I'm fired up for it, baby. I'll bring the cigars, Jeff. I'll bring the cigars.
That's good to me, brother. All right, Sam, I appreciate you coming on the show, and who day, brother?
Who day. Thanks, Jeff. I really appreciate it. Anytime you need me, I'll make it work.
All right, brother. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
All right, I hope you guys like that. Sam's a really fun follow on Twitter, especially after the Bengals win. We have Club Dub Oh, Bob. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. What's up? Yeah, I know. Rings are going to mop the floor. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Okay, we'll see what happens. All right, let's get into some Reds conversation here. Because we've been talking Bengals a ton. And actually, there's a comment I wanted to get. This is one of the very first ones. And like I said, we're doing the super chats again. So, like I said, for everybody who doesn't know, super chat is you can donate to support what I'm doing here on the channel. So you just click on it, donate whatever you want to donate, and I'll pop it up there and we will talk about it. So Rowdy, every lap, I really do appreciate that. But I want to get to this right here. There's Rowdy had a rap again. And this is actually one of the reasons I started doing this podcast and this show. So Cincinnati has the least amount of live sports radio coverage than any American professional city with multiple franchises. So shows like this are necessary. And I agree with you. And I mean, I don't understand why 700 and 1360 and all these guys just keep going with national broadcast. But hey, that's why I started doing this, like I said, so we can get hopefully some local news, some local coverage, just some local talk, about our teams. And so speaking of that, I want to get to the Reds take on, like I said at the beginning of the show here, we're going to take on the Tweety Birds at 8:15 tonight. Vladimir Gutierrez will be making his second start of the season. He is one game. He's 1-0 with a 1.80 ERA, 5 innings, 3 strikeouts, and a 0.80 whip versus Adam Wainwright. 10 games, 3-4, ERA 3.40, innings pitched 59.2, strikeouts 57, and his whip is 1.22. 22. Now, the interesting thing when it comes to Wainwright versus the Reds, and this hopefully happens tonight, which we kicked his ass when they were here beginning of the season. Adam Wainwright starts tonight. He is 2-5 with a 7.73 ERA in his last 12 games against the Reds. The Reds batters have a 3.38 batting average and a 9.54 OPS in those. It's a good chance that hopefully the Reds bats can get going and we can get back into this thing. I hope so. But this season, like I said, has been so absolutely frustrating because I've said this. And if you ever watched me the last 2 years, I've been doing this. And every time we get to the baseball season, I'm all like, you got to get off to a good start. They got off to a great start. They're 6-1. I'm like, this is perfect. This is what I've been talking about the whole time. And I'm like, we're 6-1. And Garrett isn't pitching good. Joey Votto isn't hitting very good. Gino isn't hitting very good. Luis Castillo is not pitching very well. Sonny Gray's injured, and we're 6-1. Just think what's going to happen when these guys all come back and they start playing like they always play. Well, it hasn't happened. Sonny Gray has been okay. Luis Castillo has not been great. I thought Garrett was getting his stuff together, and then, not yesterday, the day before that, we're playing the Phillies, and we're coming back, and he's like a gas can. And it just gets away from us. And it's just like, I don't get it. And I didn't get to see it, but apparently Sonny Gray was not ecstatic that Garrett came in directly after him in a very game. And if you watch the show, I am not a huge David Bell fan. But honestly, the way this team has set up, I don't know what David Bell's supposed to do. Bob Castellini went and spent a ton of money last year. He's like, we're all in. We're going to go win. I'm sorry a worldwide pandemic hit, okay? It didn't work, all right? So you went for spending a ton of money to we're all in. We're going to bring championship baseball because that's what you said when you bought this team back in 05, 04, somewhere around there. You said you're bringing championship baseball back to this city. It's only happened for like 3 years, and we didn't even win a playoff series. So you're all in. So this year, you don't have to spend as much money as you did last year to make this team a competitive ball club. You got to figure out what you're doing with shortstop. It's a pretty important position. It's probably the most important position on the infield. What do? Nothing. We have 2 closers last year. We get rid of both of them. We had a starting pitcher, Trevor Bauer. I'm not mad at you for not signing Trevor Bauer. I know you weren't going to sign Trevor Bauer. You let him go? You let DeSclafani go. You replaced him with Hudson, who's terrible and injured now. Why? I mean, if you would have fixed the bullpen, just added more arms, then Armin Garrett not being what he normally is wouldn't be as big of a deal because you'd have other guys who could jump in and help. If you had gotten at least one comparable starting pitcher, losing Trevor Bauer and losing DeSclafani probably wouldn't have been as big a deal because Wade Miley has pitched great. Wade Miley's pitched great. Trevor Bauer's pitched great. If you could have got one more guy, we could have 3 of them. They could have pitched really good, and then maybe we could absorb Luis Castillo and Sonny Gray not pitching that good. But when you don't add, and I'm not even saying add a lot, add a little bit, just a little bit. We could have been a contending ball club because I'm like, everybody's picking the Cubs. Like, the Cubs didn't do anything. The Cubs did more than we did, you know? And I'll put my hand up. I thought our bullpen was fine. I really did. I thought with Garrett and Sims and the other guys got there, Michael Lorenzen, which he's actually going to be on a rehab start here, or actually he's be throwing here soon. I thought he might be in our bullpen. Let's see where I got that at. Here it is. Yeah. Bob Nightingale. David Bell said Michael Lorenzen will be used as a reliever when he returns. Lorenzen is throwing on flat ground and obviously determines to speed up the process. So hopefully Michael Lorenzen will be coming back. But these are the things. Injuries happen. This is where the Bengals, for years, everybody got mad. Mike Brown doesn't want to win. Mike Brown doesn't want to do this. What the hell has Bob Castellini done since he's owned the freaking team? Nothing. We went to playoffs 3 years. 3 years. That's it. That's all we've done. I'm like, everybody wants to rip Mike Brown. And hey, yeah, Mike Brown has deserved being ripped for some of the stuff that he hasn't done. But he's at least changing. Bob Castellini shows he can change. He can add people. He can do stuff last year. And then this year, he's just like, whoop, we're not going to do anything. But you know what, you Reds fans, you guys, you should go down to the ballpark anyway. Hey, we got new stuff down there for you to eat. We got new stuff down there for you to drink. I don't care. I want to win baseball games. I want to go to the playoffs. I'll take Riverfront Stadium and we win like we used to when Mark Schott owned the team. You know, we got this cool baseball stadium and all this nice new stuff, and it's great. We're not winning. That's the point of being a fan. You want to win. You want your franchise to feel like it cares about you and you want to win. Bob, I don't feel like you give 2 craps about us right now. You did last year. I'm not sure what the heck happened. Remember, you're the one that said you want to bring championship baseball back to Cincinnati. Where's it at? I haven't seen it. Anyway, sorry, I got to get on my little soapbox. It's just stuff that's just, it's just irritating, man. All right, let's see here. I just went off here. Let's go. Maddie says the Reds are a lost cause. The thing is, Matt, they're not, because there's so little things that they could have done to fix the team. I don't know. You don't have a shortstop. Go find one. There's multiple guys out there that were on a trading block. You need a bullpen. Go get bullpen arms that are actual competent bullpen guys. And it doesn't cost you a ton of money. I mean, we let DeSclafani go. He got signed for $6 million. Yes, I would love to make $6 million a year. But $6 million a year for a competent starting pitcher is nothing in Major League Baseball. Anyway. They're just frustrated because I'm a huge Reds fan. I want to win. I want both my teams to win. All right. Brad, bullpen would have been fine except they had to pitch so many innings and therefore are exhausted. I agree with you. They've pitched a lot of innings, but I don't know if they'd be fine because what guy in that bullpen? Name one guy that you can come out and say he's been reliable this entire time. And you're probably going to say TJ Anton, but even though Anton, he's been getting used, he has been getting used a ton, and he's starting to get wore out. So Anton, yes. The rest of the guys, I mean, Cena Perez, we brought him up, brought him back down. Might as well just cut him, release him. I mean, he can't pitch up here. I mean, whatever. Yeah, right. Yeah, never at the Reds, and that's I'm getting tired of it. For years we got mad at the Bengals. What have the Reds done to make you say, you know what, we're gonna be a good team again? Bob Castellini, you said you're bringing back championship baseball. I haven't seen it yet. Dick Williams left because he knew he couldn't win. Honestly, you want to know my opinion, Matty? I think he was given all the money to go do this, and this, and then the pandemic hit and screwed everything up. All right. And then Bob goes, you know what? We lost money, which actually no Major League Baseball team last year finished in the red. Nobody. With no fans in the stands, nobody lost any money. So don't give me this crap that you lost money, Bob. You didn't lose any money. So I think Dick Williams like, I can't do anything with this. You want me to win, but you want me to you get rid of less money, so we can operate cheaper, but you want to win. It doesn't work like that in Major Baseball. It doesn't work like that in professional football. You got to spend money to win. All right, there. That's what. Yes, crowd. Nick Lodolo and Hunter Green will fix all of it. I mean, yes. Bring them up here. They'll fix the shortstop position. They'll fix the bullpen. They'll fix all of it. I can't wait till they come up, Crown. I really can't. But they are not the thing that's going to fix it. There's multiple things that need to be fixed, and they can't be fixed. It should have been fixed in the offseason. That's the problem. And, yeah, David Bell, I'm not a huge Bell fan, but I really can't put this on him. What's the guy supposed to do? That's where I'm at. And Garrett, I thought he was getting better. Crypt. I thought he was getting better. And then they bring him in, and it's like he completely forgot how to pitch again. And the Phillies hit, 3 home runs in one inning? At least 2 of them in one inning, and the game's over. You go and you win 11-4, and then you turn around and lose 17-2 or 17-3. I'm like, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, and Bell's bringing in position players because the bullpen is wore out because we don't have starting pitchers who can go past 5th inning, So, yes, the bullpen is wore out, and the bullpen is wore out. Plus, it's not that talented. So, it's tired. Plus, they're not that good. Not a good sign. Not a good combination. Hunter Green can play shortstop. Yes. Yes, Crown. Hunter Green played shortstop in high school. I don't think he's ever played shortstop in the majors. So, Crown, I love you, dude. You're cracking me up. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. Kevin, what you got here? When you start this season with a third baseman playing shortstop, your results are what you expect. Yeah, I mean, I was saying put Gino there because who else were they going to put? I mean, Farmer, I think, is the better. Obviously, was the better shortstop, but I'm thinking you put Gino at shortstop, you get his batting line, you get Moose in there, and I was thinking putting Senzel at second. Was I was thinking because you have Shogo in the line. That's how I was perceiving it. I didn't know Nyquist would be such a good hitter this year, and Jonathan India, and that's the thing too. It's not like, and I've heard Chad Brendel. I love Chad Brendel, but I've heard him come on and he's on the radio and stuff, and he'll say, "We haven't developed anybody." Bullcrap. They have. They haven't developed a whole 9 starting roster. Most teams don't. But I mean, you got Senzel. Yes, he's been injured, but when he's playing, he's a viable Major League Baseball player. You got DeWink. You've got Jonathan India. You've got Tucker Barnhart. You've got Tyler Stevenson. I mean, there's multiple guys they've brought up. I mean, you got Gutierrez who's pitching tonight. He's coming up. So they're it's not like the rebuild didn't completely work. When you rebuild, not everybody can be like the Houston Astros whenever everybody. All right. They got lucky. The Cubs had everybody except pitching. Well, they went out and got starting pitching. The Reds hit on position players. Some, they added some, but you got to add to it. You got to keep adding, and these trades, that's what killed me too, is if you look at the rebuild, there's only two guys we really got out of trades that really did any good for us. And both of them are struggling, right? Is Luis Canos and Eugenio Suarez. We got those two out of our rebuild. That's it. We traded Johnny Cueto to the Kansas City Royals. Got nothing. We got 3 pitchers, and none of them panned out. I think what's Franklin or whatever his name? I think he might be in AAA still. We gave away Chapman, which was stupid. Yes, he had a domestic violence thing or something against him. Nobody's even talking about that now. He's closing for the Yankees. We got nothing for him. We gave them away. And that's one of the problems we did with this rebuild. We didn't get, you got to be able, like the Tampa Bay Rays. I was watching them play the Yankees today. And they traded Archer, who was a pitcher, to the Pittsburgh Pirates. They got 3 major league players out of it. 2 pitchers and their DH. 3 of them. That's an unbelievable trade. Now, you're not going to get that every single time, but that's how the Rays are a winning franchise. They make smart decisions. And that comes from ownership that they don't spend any money. So, and the Reds, I think, with our farm system, you need to spend money. And that's the thing what I'm saying this year. Obviously, you have to spend a ton, just a little bit. And we could have had at least a competitive team. We could have had a team just like last year. No, we would have lost Bauer. Bauer was a huge loss. They weren't going to sign him. They could have done something. Okay, let's see here. Who's the guy playing shortstop tonight? I don't know, Crown. I haven't even looked at the starting lineup, to be honest. I know they brought that one kid up from shortstop for the minor leagues day before, and I thought they sent him back down, but I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the starting lineup yet. I've been on the air, so okay, Tim. They would clean house when the season is over. God, I hope not. The Reds radio has not been the same without Marty Berman. I actually like Tommy Thrall, and God, honestly, Tim, I hope they don't clean house. I mean, not as far as trading everybody, I really don't. I mean, I want to make a trade to get a shortstop. I want to make trades to add. And when you say cleaning house, to me means rebuild. I don't want to rebuild. I don't. I'm done. I'm done rebuilding. I don't want to rebuild. You got Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, and Vladimir Gutierrez. You got 3 starting pitchers that could be in your rotation next year. I don't want to rebuild. I want to, if you could do that, and if those guys can come up and be a rotation and pitch like we think they can, go get a shortstop. Go big trades. Go get a shortstop. Go fix your bullpen. Go find these things. That's what they need to do. Not go, we're going to rebuild again for the next 6 years. Nah, bullcrap. I don't want to do that again. We did that. We rebuilt. It's over. I'm done rebuilding. I want to win. And you have a good enough team to win. You do. You got to add to it, but you have a good enough team to win. Okay, let's see here, Kevin. What do you got? How many more wins do we have if we kept Bauer? 10? 5? Maybe 4. I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm not upset that they didn't sign Trevor Bauer. I'm upset that they didn't. They let two starting pitchers go, and they didn't replace them. See, that's the problem. Okay, it's not that they didn't sign Trevor Bauer. I mean, like I said, $130 million or whatever he got, they weren't going to sign him. You can't let 2 starting pitchers go and replace them with one, and not a very good one. So, Crown said they should be here this year. Well, if you listen to what Charlie Goldschmidt said on my show was it yesterday? No, it's yesterday, on Tuesday. They can't come up. The code protocol is you cannot bring up guys from AA straight to the majors right now. They got to go to AAA. So they need to go to AAA first, Crown, and then they can bring them up. But I do agree with you that Lodolo, I think, should be up here. And I want to get to this because let's see, where is that? This is it. Yeah. Nick Lodolo was named Double-A South Player of the Month in May. Lodolo dominated the month of May, securing 2 wins and posting a stellar 1.01 ERA. His 0.83 whip is the lowest in the Double-A South. To me, right there, Crown, he should be moved up to AAA, because that way you do have a shot of bringing him up. So, according to Charlie Goldschmidt, they cannot bring him up until, not from Double-A anyway, and start pitching this year. Yeah, I'm like I said. Lodolo, yes. Hunter Green, I'm a little worried about. I'll just be honest. I mean, he had Tommy John. I want him to be nice and healthy and all that stuff. Lodolo, yes. I want Lodolo up. I mean, honestly, if you have Gutierrez, if he pitches good again tonight, which I hope he does, so I want to get off here. Actually, it's 6:30. I want to get off here because I want to go watch him. If he can pitch good like he did last time, and you can get him, and hopefully maybe after the All-Star break, you can bring up Lodolo, and then by August, September, you can bring up Hunter Green. That's 3 guys that could be in your starting rotation starting next year. So if you can get all 3 of those guys in the rotation next year, do not have a fire sale. Do not. I mean, because you got 3 young starters. Now, I know, Gray or Castellanos is gone. But if you trade one of those 2, make it a good trade. Get you a shortstop. Get you some bullpen. I mean, hell, worse, you can keep Gray in there and you put Gutierrez in the bullpen. You know, there's options that you can do if you have these guys ready to go next year. Bob, I want a winning team. You said it. Championship baseball. I didn't say it. You said it. Anyway, let's get the heck out of here. I enjoy talking Reds. I've been talking a lot of Bengals and stuff, and I had to get that off my chest. I'm just sick and tired of people always ripping the Bengals. You know, everybody rips the Bengals for this and that and yada, yada, yada. And Mike Brown doesn't do this. Mike Brown doing that. What's Bob Castellini done? And I'm a huge Reds fan. So that's not coming from hate. That's coming from love. I want to win. All right, let's get to the Facebook groups that let me live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys. They are. We have the Bengals groups here. They're Houday Nation, a great Bengals Facebook group. Cincinnati Bengals, the Jungle, Bengals Nation Houday, or Bengals Houday Nation, Bengals Nation, Bengals Houday Nation. I'll get it right. Bearcat Country, Ohio State Bucknuts, the Ice Bar, and then you can follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Twitter. The Twitter handle is Jeff A. Trennepohl. That's TRENNEPOHL. On Instagram, I'm on TikTok. The handle there, TikTok, is Iceman90. Like I said, all these are under Sports with Strawberry Ice. Do me a favor. I will be pulling the sound off later on today. I know you can't sit there and watch me for an hour, but you can listen to me. If you're at work tomorrow, whatever, check it out. I'm on BeanPod, Apple Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, I think Stitcher. I'm not exactly sure all of them I'm on. I'm on a lot of pretty much wherever you get your podcast. I'm there. Make sure you rate, like, review, download, and tell your friends about the podcast. Tell your friends about the YouTube channel. Like I said, we were kicking butt. I'm at 1,126 subscribers. That is awesome. I appreciate every single one of you guys. And we are doing this new thing where we have the super chats. So if you guys want to donate and help me out on funding what I do, I would greatly appreciate it. And it's been a lot of fun. Jeremy D, hopefully we'll be back sometime soon. He has been very, very busy at work. So I'm hoping next week he can be on the show, but we will see. As always, remember one thing and one thing only. And that is, you don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati, so act like it. Houday, let's beat the hell out of the Tweety Birds. And that's just sports, baby. See ya!